Talk. Talk. Talk to me Tuesday. Hey there, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday on a Tuesday. I'm your host, Mari B. Hope you guys are still enjoying the month of October, still going strong with your breast cancer. 31 days of pink. Make sure you guys tag us and do the hashtag of DMA Thinks Pink for the whole month of October. We would love to see how you guys are representing and wearing pink. I'm over here in full on pink, so make sure that you guys are still in the spirit for breast cancer. It's not over. We still got a couple more weeks, so make sure you go dig in that closet and get all that pink. Just like our attorney over here, Andy Rubenstein, is also representing wearing some pink. We do have some good little goodies coming up for breast cancer and some nice little tips for you guys if you guys want to know how to stay on top of the curve, how to be avoiding certain things. We have a lot of tips, little statistics that we've looked at. So I want to welcome you guys to the show and open up those lines of communication. Today we have a very special show, and we actually have a very special guest. Now you're going to meet that guest here in a little bit. We're going to wait a little bit. Before we do that, we want to kind of talk about what the show's about. So we were actually almost a month ago on the show about, Tropical Storm Imelda hit very dear in the Houston area, but very heavily in the Beaumont area. A month ago is where we had our show, asked for how we can help, how we can contribute, how we could give back and be a helping hand. A lot of you guys reached out to us. A lot of you guys asked for the help. A lot of you guys asked for the volunteer. And you guys are still asking. We're going to be more than happy to give to our community that is still rebuilding. Now, we want to open up those lines of communication. If you've been impacted, if someone in your community was impacted, if you need help, if you want to help, any of that help is always welcome. So if you are a carpenter, a painter, you do anything that has to do with home, the piping, reach out to us because there's someone out there that is in need of your assistance. And that is why we're here on Talk to Me Tuesday today, to bring everyone together full circle to make sure that we help everyone in the community. Now, let's talk a little bit about the impact that we've had already on the community and how we've already put our best foot forward to help. So just last week, we went to a neighborhood in South Park. This is the neighborhood that was very much so affected by the Tropical Storm Imelda. We gathered here at the office, D. Miller and Associates. We gathered a bunch of water, canned goods from all of our employees, and we made sure that we delivered, not just delivered, but also heard the community, the neighbors, and how they felt on when it happened and after, and what their road to recovery is. So I want you to look at when we were at Beaumont. We were in Beaumont twice already. Last week we're on there twice, making a difference, not just this video that you're going to see, but another one that we're going to kind of release here shortly. So I want you to take a look of how we gave back to the community last week on Tuesday, and gave some water and canned goods and how they are feeling on their recovery to rebuilding their life. Let's take a look. Hey there, here we are in Beaumont, Texas. I'm here with attorney Marcelo Hoffmann.
Yes, hello everyone.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about why we're here in Beaumont, Texas. So we're in the neighborhood of South Park, and we're actually going to be doing such an amazing deed. So let's talk a little bit about what that deed that we're going to do for this neighborhood.
Absolutely, we're here to distribute water, supplies, food, because now we're getting a real sense of how people have been affected by the Tropical Storm Imelda. We had obviously our issues in Houston, but coming into Beaumont, we see, and you'll see later throughout the segment, you'll see trash piles everywhere. I mean, apartments are flooded. We're about 2 weeks removed, more or less, and the issue is very real. We just stepped into this gentleman's house. Unfortunately, it's been completely flooded, and they're doing a lot of work, so we're here to just support the community.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys probably, if you missed that show 2 weeks ago on Talk to Me Tuesday, that show definitely shows a little bit about what they experienced, some of those pictures, and here in a little bit, we're going to show the inside of what it's looking like 2 weeks after Tropical Storm Imelda. Let's take a look at everything that we're about to donate. D. Miller and Associates came down to donate a bunch of water, canned goods, even some clothing to this neighborhood. Again, we're in South Park, Beaumont, Texas. So you'll see us right now distribute some of these goods. Take a look. Okay, guys, here we are with ET. We just unloaded the car full of goodies, water, canned goods, some clothes as well. So you're going to be distributing some of those items that we donated to you guys to your neighborhood. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Awesome. So that's going to be great. I know they're going to need that as well as get them in the road to recovery. So we're now in your home. In your home. So let's talk a little bit about your home. We did show pictures, if you guys remember, on Talk to Me Tuesday. Your home with the water, it was almost as high as I am, almost to like where my shoulders is. And the only reason why I could tell is because I see the walls and where the water affected. Right now, we're in the kitchen. So talk to me about the process that you've already started, and is the wood dry and all that good stuff. Tell us a little bit of what you've experienced.
Oh, man, the experience is just something that's unreal, you know, from the water being so high to having to tear everything out, everything that you worked for and, you know, put all your hard money into, you lose it at the freak accident, just a snap of a finger. So now it's just a restart all over process, ripping all the walls out to build up. Like say this once was a kitchen, you know, but it's just a place you can store stuff now. But tearing the walls, pull all the cabinets, sink, replace wood, and come back in once the structural part is completely done, and then we're gonna put the walls all back together and everything. So it'll be basically a brand new house once we're done with it.
So you just started the process, and as you guys can see, if you can look behind me, you guys already stripped the wall. So is that wood already dry, or do you have to go a little bit higher? How's that process right now where we stand? Is there mold there? Where are we in that stage?
Well, that wood, as of now, that wood should be dry, but we're gonna raise it up even higher. We're just gonna rip it all out and just do it all from scratch. And that way there we know everything is guaranteed after that fact.
That's a long process. So are you getting any help with doing this? We're talking a whole house. We're not just talking the kitchen. Are you getting any help with that, or are you doing this yourself?
Oh no, this is all me. I have some buddies that coming along that's going to help me out with the rebuild process, but everything else is all me.
Wow. So this is a lot. I know it teaches you as a homeowner to kind of learn these things. The next process would probably be putting the sheetrock and getting the stove back, the sink back. The sink is now on the floor. So it's almost like rebuilding a home, like you're almost a home builder here.
Yeah, you can consider me as Bob the Builder, you know. So everything it's all, you know, it's all gonna be from scratch. You know, it's the only thing that I will not fool with if I don't have to is the roof, but everything else has to go.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. So is there anything that we can do additionally? I know we are not done with this journey on helping you guys. The journey still continues, and we will be here on any assistance that you need. But if anybody's watching right now and wants to lend a helping hand or want to give anything, is there any help that is needed, or not just yourself, but even the neighborhood as well?
Oh, it's plenty that's needed in the neighborhood. It's so bad out there, man. I mean, just every time you turn around, it's unreal. You know, the trash people come out here, pick up trash, and then as soon as they drop it, pick it up, it's back full up. You know, people lost everything. I mean, their entire homes for years and years and years, because majority of these people, a lot of them are retired. You know, so for them to lose everything, that's more painful than me losing what I lost. Yeah. So it's so sentimental to them, it's unreal.
Yeah. And let's talk about the trash process. So we were kind of talking about that a little bit earlier. There's probably still furniture items that you guys are still taking out. The mounds that you guys see, actually footage that we've taken, the mounds are really high. And you were stating that they came out one time, and this happened 2 weeks ago. So talk about that process. Where does the trash actually go?
Right now, because the way everything's working with so much trash going on in the landfill, at the moment, you know, it's supply and demand. You know, they can't take it on anymore. So people, they come out, pick it up, and they're putting it out at Ford Park right now. So if you're on I-10 coming into Beaumont, leaving Beaumont, look over there at Ford Park. You'll see all the trash is just steady piling up.
So if you guys are driving, that's not a demolished building, that's trash. There's also vehicles. I know you mentioned probably more than 9,000 vehicles that were flooded in. You have some still here. Some of your vehicles are flooded in. Where are you currently staying or sleeping right now?
At the current moment, I have my travel trailer outside, so that's keeping me afloat right now. So.
Well, that's good that you have that blessing, and right now it's full of water, canned goods as well. You're not able to cook. The stove is right here. So as you guys can see, you are not able to cook anything. So the canned goods or even going out to eat is definitely how you're becoming afloat, right?
It is. You know, I think on the average now, it's like $60 a day for food, and you know, I mean, that's eating once a day because I'm at work, me and my son. So you spending $60 a day, it adds up quick. Yeah. So, but it's all in all, you know, it's an experience, and it's an eye opener for so many people. But it teaches my son wise, you know, I think it almost him onto a whole nother level. That's what I like about it.
How old is your son?
13.
13, that's a young age to go through something like this, experience that, and still humbling him to his adulthood as well. So you do have a full family here that you have to look out for. So if any of you guys have any donations, whether it's water, canned goods, a little bit goes a long way to this neighborhood, which is South Park in Beaumont, Texas. So we can help them in their road to recovery. So we're going to talk a little bit to some of your neighbors as well. So we want to thank you for inviting us to your home and allowing us to get you some goodies so that you can be in the road to recovery.
Thank y'all. That's greatly appreciated.
All right, so as mentioned, here we are with one of the neighbors of E.T., the homeowner that we just spoke to a little while ago. So we're here with Eula. You live about 6 minutes away walking and 2 in car, so it's not so far. We're still in the same neighborhood. So tell us a little bit about your experience, what you went through, and who was in your surroundings at the time.
When everything was going on, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning walking in water, and it was just my kids and I. I have a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old. I tried calling for assistance from Beaumont Police Department, and they told me that my situation was not an immediate emergency, and they had more things that they were trying to get to at the time, and we were not a priority.
Wow, so you had 2 babies and just yourself to carry out the babies as well as finding a safe environment for your family.
Right.
Okay, that seems a little, that seems definitely very tough. So you do have a vehicle. Was your vehicle submerged? Were you able to drive it?
I was not able to drive my vehicle because I have a truck, and the water was above the bumper.
Oh my.
So it was not a great idea to even crank it up. So
how did you end up getting help on that day? Who ended up coming to rescue?
I was able to get in touch with my brother who drove a dually. So he was able to make it through a lot of the deep waters, and it was some areas when we were leaving from the neighborhood that the water was above his hood.
Oh my.
So imagine how high a dually is, and the water's above the hood.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's talk a little bit about your road to recovery. I know it's been 2 weeks. I know it's still fresh on recovering. I can't even imagine you're even nowhere near halfway there. But let's talk about what the experience has been and what you've done with your home.
It's been a rough experience. A lot of stuff I'm having to do alone. Fortunately, I have had some relatives and friends come and help remove some of the furniture out because I had to let my furniture go inside, and on top of it was full of mold. So I pretty much lost a lot. Pretty much most of the furniture, my kids' furniture, clothing, food, baby food, Pampers, I lost a lot because some of that stuff was stored, below the water level. So unfortunately, I lost a lot. I even had water coming through my roof, unfortunately, because there was a leak in my roof. Something must have punctured, and it ended up seeping in, and so now I have a mold spot in my ceiling.
We're very sorry to hear that you lost all of that. Now let's talk a little bit about the foundational part of your house. Is the wood still up? Did you already start kind of knocking that down? Do you have the doors up? Tell us about that.
The only thing I've been able to get out so far was the furniture and the doors, because all of the doors are just have swollen at the bottom where the water was sitting. I still need help trying to get the wall where there's mold at. So it's still a lot of stuff that I still have to do in my home to get it even ready for my kids to come back home, because we're separated at this time.
Okay, so this is a long process. You just mentioned that you're separated from your kids. Now the reason being, you need to make sure it's a safe environment. Correct. Mold is nothing to play with, especially for little ones. And you're stating you're not even at the process of rebuilding yet. There's still a lot that needs to come out, needs to be gutted out. So there's still a process. And so is that something that we can probably try to get some help for you to help you?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. That would be greatly appreciated.
Awesome. So we will definitely reach out to some, if you guys are in the area, or if you guys, if that's your profession, we definitely recommend if you can reach out to us, because this young lady can definitely use some of that help. Right now, you're just doing this on your own as a woman.
Yes, on my own. I mean, as a homeowner, it's just some things you just have to do. And right now, I have to do it, especially being that I really want to get my kids back home, and they're an hour away from me. So it's not like I can just go around the corner and visit with my kids for a little bit. And I'm staying in the home, and I shouldn't even be there. I have asthma, but I have other relatives to go, but it's nothing like your own space.
Right. So your kids are an hour away, and where are they staying, or with who are they staying right now?
Thank God that I do have that support system, because if I didn't have that support system, I'd probably be breaking down.
Right. And definitely, so your kids are with your mother while mom is trying to get home ready for the kids, which is very respected for you. I know your courage is definitely hard. So we definitely applaud your strength. And that's awesome that you are doing that. And we will be here every step of the way. We did bring some goods that can help. A little bit goes a long way. Let us know if there's anything anything else that we can do for you. I also want to invite you guys, if there's anything that you guys want to do for this community as well as Beaumont, Texas, we want to invite you as well to let us know. Send us a direct message, send us in the comment section, and we'll be happy to reach out to you. That way we can also, as one community and one unit, help Beaumont, Texas.
Yes, please. Any help is greatly appreciated, no matter what it is. Nothing is too small and nothing is too big.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to us and let us know, and we will talk to a couple of more neighbors here shortly. All right, so here we are with another neighbor in the neighborhood of South Park. This is Frank. So very nice to meet you, and thank you for welcoming us in your home. So we are in your home right now. Talk to us a little bit about your process and your road to recovery as well.
It's taking a while. It's taking a while because we're waiting on FEMA. And I had this much water. You look on the wall, see how high it was.
Oh,
but it was high back there.
Yeah, you definitely see the water line. So right now, you do still have furniture in here. Not everything is fully out. You're still working. There's furniture outside, which we'll show you guys footage here in a little bit, that's drying off. But there's still furniture here, so it's a long process to try to get some of the stuff out and make sure everything's dry and in good standing. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk about your road to recovery. Are you gonna have to strip the walls? Is it still humid?
See, right where the lines are, we're going to have to do all them.
So one of your first steps is probably getting a lot of this stuff out and then demolishing the walls where that line is, which is almost hip level for me. It's pretty high, and so that's the next few steps that you have to deal with, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So is that something you're doing on your own, or are you getting help with that?
We're waiting on FEMA to come in, and then they can access it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And we definitely want to make sure, because this environment, are you staying in this home currently?
Yeah, I'm sleeping back there.
Okay, you're sleeping still in the home, and has anybody came out to see if there's any like mold or stuff like that?
No.
Or are you still waiting?
I'm still waiting.
Okay, so 2 weeks, and Frank is still waiting on someone to come out, assess the home, seeing if there's any mold. But in the meantime, this is the only place that you have? You don't have anywhere to go to sleep?
Yeah, I can go sleep at my mother-in-law.
Okay, so you do have an option. That's awesome. So we definitely are trying to reach out to people out there that may be able to be of assistance to you guys, to help you guys get some of this furniture out and help you gut it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
I can do it myself, though. We're gonna do it ourselves.
Okay.
When we get the help.
Yeah. Sure. For sure. Well, if there's anything that you need that you can think of right now, we'll be more than happy to assist you on that.
Probably some water.
Yeah.
And food.
Perfect. Well, good thing we did bring 15 cases of water. We did bring some canned goods that are in the centralized location there with ET's home. Do you have a stove, or is everything also demolished in your kitchen?
My freezer was demolished just over here.
Okay, look, we're walking towards the freezer. Okay.
It was right here.
Oh, this is where it was. Okay.
Right there.
Okay, it was here, which is no longer there. There's a lot of things that, if you guys look around, there's still a lot, and you see that water line right there. That's how high the water got. You kind of see a little bit of the wall being warped from the water, and that's part of the process. Oh, okay. I hear it too. Yeah, you can hear it. It does sound very moist and humid, the wood, and that's part of the next few stages. So, Frank, I want to thank you again for inviting us to your home, and this won't be the first time that you see us. We'll definitely come back out again. Okay? Awesome. Well, thank you. I want to invite you guys, if you guys have any type of help and assistance that can be needed, this neighborhood, South Park in Beaumont, Texas, is definitely in need of your help. We want to make sure that we help them on their road to recovery. As a community and as one, we can help Beaumont, Texas. Until next time, guys. So you guys got to see the video and the interview that we had with a couple of victims that suffered from the Tropical Storm Imelda in the South Park community. They allowed us in their home on what is left of their home. So you got to see E.T. We were in their kitchen. Eula also had to suffer and had 2 babies, infants, trying to get them out to be out of harm's way. And then you saw the last one, which is Frank. Frank's home still had the memorabilia in there, clothes, furniture, everything's still in there, and he was waiting for help and is still currently waiting. So people like them that you saw in that video need our help still. So if any of you guys can help or have any assistance on either carpentry, plumbing, or anything like that, or a moving service that you guys can help move some furniture and help them, it's one of them and it's a lot of us. So it's that helping hand that we need to help our community. Now, this past weekend, we were able to help distribute items alongside of the Catholic Charities of South Texas. So that was something that we did on Sunday. So after that video that you guys saw and that we were able to bring water, canned goods, and really impact some lives, we turned around on Sunday and kind of did it again with a different feel. Now, we have our special guest on the phone, and that special guest is Christopher Robertson, who is the Director of Disaster Response of the Catholic Charities of Southeast Texas. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. We had to have you on the phone for such short notice, but at the same time, you are still working and helping people as we speak. So thank you again for allowing us to help. This past weekend, we did have some volunteers from the office who really enjoyed themselves on making a difference, not just alongside with you, but also to the community. So I want to thank you for giving us that opportunity.
No, thank you. They were wonderful. Thank you so much for being a part of that.
Awesome. It's our pleasure. So tell us a little bit about Catholic Charities of Southeast Texas and a little bit about yourself as well.
Sure. So Catholic Charities of Southeast Texas actually has multiple programs, one being disaster response. And so they do a lot for the community. We actually cover 9 counties in the Southeast Texas region. And we offer a variety of services, from a soup kitchen that we have in Port Arthur that's open 365 days a year. They serve twice a day. We have emergency assistance where we can assist with rent and utilities and things like that for people who may have lost their jobs, or maybe they're going to be evicted. And we also have grief support counseling for children who have lost an immediate family member. There's financial education, just anything that we can do to help the needs of our community. We kind of have a lot of programs. So one of them is disaster response. So we were only a staff of 19 in the entire building. And then after Harvey, my program, disaster response alone, has 32 employees. So we take it very seriously. We try to do a thorough, good job. And that's kind of where we're at right now, again, after Imelda.
Wow, that's such a blessing that you guys have grown so much. But not just that, you offer a lot of arms and tears to when someone is a victim of a disaster relief, whether it is a fire or, in this case, it's a tropical storm, and in 2 years ago was a hurricane. So tell us a little bit of how you got involved with Catholic Charities of Southeast Texas, and how long have you been involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was in college at Lamar University in Beaumont, where Catholic Charities is located, and I was in the social work program, going to become a social worker. And so in the social work program, you have 400 internship hours you have to complete. And so I happened to come across Catholic Charities, and I really liked what they did. The people are amazing. They're genuine people. They do a really good job. They work tirelessly, and that was kind of similar to my energy. So I did my internship there, and it just so happened that at the end of my internship, I was able to step into the disaster response role. And I've actually just made 3 years in August, and so it's definitely been, trial by fire. As soon as I started, I had very little get used to it time before Hurricane Harvey hit, and it was, jump into action, because the emergency assistance program and the disaster response program is one program. They're just two separate branches of the same program. And so it definitely keeps us busy, but I've been there 3 years in August.
Wow, congratulations. I was going to say, wow, 3 years, and then you blinked, and then it was Hurricane Harvey. So that was actually a big one for you, huh?
Yeah, absolutely it was. And it actually has a completely different look. So just to fill you in, it's the first ever of its kind. It's kind of a pilot program. But essentially when there's a federal declaration, like you'll see in the news, it's been federally declared. Mm-hmm. That means that the federal government gives money to the state to hire case managers. And so historically, it's a group of state case managers who will meet with clients and try to see what do you need to recover. Mm-hmm. But in theory, what FEMA did this time was they partnered with a group called the National VOAD, and they picked Catholic Charities as one of the 5 agencies to give this contract to, in addition to the state side, because we bring internal funding of our own. And so in theory, if we provide the assistance internally, it makes the recovery faster. And so not only is it a lot all at once after starting, but it's also a brand new program that's never been done before. And so it's very official, but it's very fulfilling also.
Wow, that is awesome. So how is someone that is probably watching right now or in the community that probably missed you guys on Sunday and wants to gain some of that assistance, how are they able to reach out to you? Or is it a process that they have to go through? Do they just call? How does that work?
Yeah, so I actually have 2 full-time people where their sole responsibility is to stay by the disaster line, which is 409-924-4426. And what they do is you call that number, they answer the phone, they fill out an application, and then they just get the application in the hands of the right people to take the next steps. So if they call that number for any need after the storm, we'll get their information right away.
Awesome. Yeah, so if any of you guys are watching right now and are still in need, make sure you call that number. We do have their information here above me as well that you guys can reach out to them. And we do have a couple pictures of your organization this weekend. Now, how you said your organization is about 32 employees, but how many were there this weekend on Sunday?
Well, so we actually were blessed with you guys coming out, and the nursing department. Carol Fernandez, our CEO, came out for a little bit, but other than her and I, those were the only paid employees who were there. It was just the love and support of the community. We had Lamar University nursing students come out, as well as the D. Miller volunteers that came out, and then the Knights of Columbus from Louisiana actually came in and cooked for 400 people. And so there were only 2 of us who worked there, but that just shows, the support we get from the community, including groups like D. Miller.
Absolutely. I love to see these pictures, how everyone has a very big shining smile out there to, give back also to the community, those that are suffering. It's always very warm to kind of see, that energy out there as well. So tell us a little bit of where do you receive your supplies to give those that were in need?
Yeah, it's a great question. So as soon as the disaster hits, the Imelda kind of hit us by surprise. Mm-hmm. You remember the news was saying it was going to kind of go more towards Houston. And so we were thinking, what can we do? If God forbid it goes to Houston, we were gearing up to support Houston as best we could. And so, you turn around the next day and it came here and everything's underwater. And so immediately we started looking for a warehouse. And that's the first step. We get our warehouse, and then we start volunteer lists. So we have wonderful supporters like United Way and other partner agencies that we kind of, we do big outreach. We put it on social media. We talk to all of our partners and our funders, and we just ask for very specific items because we all kind of do different things. The community partners, we each have a role, and I do distributions. And so cleaning kits, hygiene kits, baby items, things like this, we actually, I cannot tell you how wonderful social media has been. We actually, in Harvey, as a matter of fact, and we're trying to stay consistent with that, somebody in Maryland, in Baltimore, Maryland, saw a post and decided that he and 2 of his friends, they became friends online. They didn't know each other at the time. They wanted to do something for Southeast Texas. So they just rented a truck, got some supplies, and drove down here to drop stuff off. So That's one way. With the wonderful people that see and want to help can donate things. We also have partners who send out our list, and so their partners can send things. We have a little bit of local partnership with the Southeast Texas Food Bank and places like this who we collaborate and see who needs what, how can we get it. And so a little bit of everything, actually. We just we're in fast forward trying to get stuff in as soon as possible so our response can be quick.
Wow, that's awesome and amazing. And just like you said, the power of social media. I know that's how we kind of met as well, as when we had our show for the first time a month ago, and we were asking, hey, if there's any way we can help and go out there. And I know you reached out to us which is just the power of this platform. I love it because it does join amazing people together to also help a lot of amazing people. Now this weekend, you kind of touched base a little bit about it, but you guys gave hygiene products, you guys gave cleaning products, you guys gave out food. Those are just a few of the things that you guys gave. Is there any other more things that you guys gave, and are you guys still accepting more donations?
So it's interesting. So what we do is actually we kind of cater it to the need of that specific area. Because matter of fact, I'm talking to you now. I just got back from another area of town. So I'm going to do another distribution, and I'm about to do another one in another county right now. But what we had done was we kind of just thought if people were where we were set up and how hard that impact was in that neighborhood, we don't want to give more than people can carry away. And so I'm actually going to be going back to that community this week to drop off additional supplies. And so we won't be doing additional donations of items, but monetary donations we're still trying to roll in, because normally what we do is a 3-phase recovery. And the first phase is cleaning kits and hygiene kits, the things you would need right away after the storm. And so that's kind of where we're at now. We're just trying to get this. Our goal is by November 22nd to have all of our 9 counties flooded with immediate needs that they have now.
Wow, that's amazing. And that was actually going to be my next question, or how are these items distributed? Like, how do you pick what area? I'm pretty sure you have to have really organized and a map to kind of let you go through these areas to distribute.
Absolutely. And so one of the things that we like to do at Catholic Charities is kind of key in on our special populations, the most vulnerable in our area. And so what I've done is I created a list to where you have the National Weather Service map that shows how many inches were received in each city. And then I compare it with the National Vulnerability Census. So the census information it'll tell you the red flags in that specific zip code. So for all of my 9 counties, I went through all of my cities and I found out who can't get out, who doesn't have transportation, where the high concentrated areas of low income or elderly, single parent households. And those are the people that I literally go out to in the truck multiple times a day. And I go door to door. And if they can't get to us, I make sure that I get to them in very specific parts of town.
Wow, that's amazing. I love how there's so much strategy behind you helping, distributing, receiving, and giving. It's awesome that you have to work really, really fast, so I commend you for that. And I know, like we mentioned, in all these amazing pictures that we see on the screen now, it really warms my heart. There's so much love that is just depicted in these pictures. And so we went to go volunteer this last Sunday. Are you always accepting volunteers, or what is the best way if someone is viewing right now and say, you know what, I want to help out, I want to volunteer?
Of course. Yes, always accepting volunteers. Even if there's no disaster, our programs are very much dependent on volunteers. The Hospitality Center, which is the soup kitchen that I referenced, it's 99% run on volunteers. It's open 365 days a year. It does not close, and there's only 1 staff member. It's almost solely run by volunteers. So what you would do is you would go to the Catholic Charities website, and there's a volunteer application. If you submit the volunteer application, they get it processed, and then you can start.
Wow, that's super easy. So you guys see on the screen right now, you guys see all of their information here at the top. So please make sure you go visit their website to make sure you help out, help a lending hand, and also volunteer. So let's talk a little bit about you, Chris. Do you live in the Beaumont area?
I do. I live in Beaumont.
Okay, so how were you affected? I know you're helping a lot, but were you also one that was affected by the tropical storm?
So I was very lucky in that I had a stack from Harvey. Actually, I had tried to prepare afterwards. You know, you learn a little bit each storm in this area, and I'm not originally from here, but I had a stack of sandbags in my backyard, so that when water started coming into the backyard, I was able to just kind of put the sandbags to prevent any more water from coming in. But I was very fortunate that I was able to prevent it. But definitely a scary time, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So talk to us a little bit about what those conditions are like now in Beaumont. I know as we're looking at the pictures, it almost looks like everything's back to normal, but it's far from that. You know, a lot of people are still rebuilding. So tell us of what their conditions are currently right now.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think that's very important because it was a little misleading, I think, that after Hurricane Harvey, you could see debris and all kinds of stuff. Things were closed down. There was no water in the city, and that remained the case for quite some time. Whereas in Imelda, we had an uncharacteristically dry season as far as hurricane season, and so when this came, the water tended to recede quicker, and so businesses opened up pretty quickly and things like that. So the assumption is that everything's fine from the outside looking in, but that's very far from reality. In the neighborhoods that I'm going into, no, people are still, if they've gotten their stuff out of their house into their curb, they're still in the process of trying to clean and get people to come in there and tear out sheetrock. And so while it appears that things bounce back to normal pretty quick, that's not the case, especially not for those special populations I was talking about. Single mothers with limited incomes or elderly and disabled people, and unfortunately there just isn't enough volunteer labor to get to all of them in a very quick way. So this will continue for a few months like this.
Yeah, we definitely want to reach out to all of you guys that may either know someone or work in the labor-intensive area that can probably lend a helping hand. I think that would also help. There's some people that still have all their stuff in their home. So, Chris, based on your opinion, again, only opinion-based, how long do you think that the rebuilding process will take?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I can say my opinion coupled with the work we've been doing from Harvey, it's because of the populations who can't afford to bring in contractors and labor, and they rely heavily on volunteer labor groups that there just aren't a lot of. I would say in a year from now, there's still going to be a need. There's definitely still going to be a need, and unfortunately, some of my partners who do the volunteer labor, all their inventory was flooded as well, and so they're needing to recover and not prepared to respond. So a year is generous to say that there's still going to be a need.
Yeah, that's crazy, and I want you guys to definitely listen to that, because even in a year we could still help. We want to help now and continue to help, and that's what we will be doing. Chris is putting that step forward. So are there still shelters or places that are offered to those either victims or survivors from the floods?
So they closed last Wednesday, I believe. I think this is day 34 in a row of working, so my timeline's a little bit off, but it was either last Wednesday or the Wednesday before the last shelter closed, and so a lot of our residents have moved in with family. I know from going into these neighborhoods every afternoon, I will hit multiple places again because people aren't back to their homes yet, and so while the shelters may have closed, people are still not necessarily back home.
Okay, so tell me, based on you're in it, you just said you work 34 days straight, which is crazy, and I know you're helping, so rest, I'm pretty sure you're like, there is no rest because I have to help somebody. But what are some items that you feel are still needed for the residents that are around there?
I think that's a good question. I think that right now, I have not had anyone turn away any cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies are still a big need in the area. We give out what we can for cleaning supplies. We have wonderful partners who put together kits, and we've taken some of our funding from Catholic Charities and put together things to contribute and make kits as well. But there have not been, unlike Harvey, I would say that baby items of any kind are always a popular request, and they did not come in this time. There's just no baby items. And unfortunately, I think food is still a big one. I mean, we have cleaning kits and hygiene kits that we're giving out, and we've partnered with Southeast Texas Food Bank, who can give you the shelf life food packages. And but I'd say like this area has, my 9 counties have a lot of rural areas where people have livestock and farm animals and just animals in general. And in Harvey, we were wonderfully blessed. We had a lot of animal food that we could distribute and baby items that this year just didn't come in. There's just not. There's not been that sort of donation, and I think it's felt a little bit in the community.
Well, we'll definitely see what we could do to make that a difference. I know, like mentioned, I think when I called you, we showed a video and a clip of how we were donating water and canned goods. There's some people that are gutting out their whole kitchen. They don't even have a stove, a microwave, nothing. So, that's something just to be able to survive is definitely food. And we're definitely going to work on those baby items because there is a lot of kids in that neighborhood. So things is needed like baby food, diapers, wipes, stuff like that. So we'll make sure what we can do to help you guys on that. So what other things does your organization do, Chris? And what does your organization do when there's no disaster?
Yeah, fair enough. And so, like, my program specifically, we have, when I first started, I was saying there wasn't a whole lot of time in between me starting and Harvey, but I would say 95% easy of my time was spent for emergency assistance. If people are, put on bed rest, if they have complicated pregnancies, they're put on bed rest, or if they lose their job, or whatever the situation may be. If they can't pay their bills, I bring them in. We have a vetting process to where we can bring people in and, ensure the need, and then we can help out. So whether that's preventing eviction or if it's a first month's rent and deposit into a new place after an eviction, we try to get people over a temporary hard time. And so I still do that now. Even in this response, I make sure that from 9 to 12, I'm still there at the main office to juggle the Harvey program that's still active, and then emergency assistance, because that is the program that I have year round. And so the majority of my time is spent seeing families who are kind of facing a hard time and getting them over that hump so that they can be more self-sufficient.
Wow, that's amazing. And do you only work in this area? Like, what if there was a disaster that happened in Louisiana or even in Odessa? Like, do you guys also help, or is there certain mileage or radius that you guys go out?
No, there's really not. So it's that's something that will continue to unfold as I'm here at Catholic Charities. But I know that there's a matter of fact, I'm going to be a presenter this year at it's called the AIDE. It's the AID conference. It's Applied Institute for Disaster Excellence.
Wow.
And it's held every year so that all Catholic Charities disaster response workers can come together and stay up to date, get additional training, and figure out what's the best response. So if it's monetary donations anywhere there's a major disaster in the United States, if we can contribute monetarily, or if we can ourselves deploy or send deployment teams to them, then that's what we do. I was blessed during Harvey. We had the biggest help that we could have asked for was Seattle, Washington, Catholic Community Services. They would send 2 people down for 2 weeks, and then they would rotate with an additional 2 people, and we had that consistently for months. And so, no, there's a big collaboration between Catholic Charities agencies. We'll help out in any way that we can.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on getting that speaking arrangement, because I know that you are an amazing speaker, but spreading some of this knowledge and energy out there, we all can come together as a community and make it a better place. So if viewers would like to get in contact with you or work with your organization, let's let them know one more time, how can they reach out to you?
Sure, yeah. So the phone number for applications is the same phone number that they can get messages to me from. And so it's 409-924-4426.
Awesome. We'll definitely put that in the comment section. I know we do have a number and a website and everything that's on the screen right now, but that direct number, we want to put it on the comment section. Now, Chris, I do this with all my guests. So if you had to leave our viewers with one last either comment, quote, or even a heartfelt message, what would you tell the viewers that are watching right now?
Well, I think that what it would be is kind of the standard kind of social work in disaster response. Unfortunately, disasters are not selective, and so I always tried, even before I was blessed to be at Catholic Charities, to help out where I had the opportunity. Volunteerism, know your local communities, know what agencies you have locally and what they do. Because unfortunately, things like disaster or any sort of, occurrence in your life, it's not selective, and any one of us could be on the receiving end, and we would hope that people would be there to help us out in those times. So I try to be that person, whether I do it for a living or even on the side, just kind of be willing to help out your neighbor. Neighborhoods have really come together, and with each other's help, there really wouldn't be any recovery, and that includes the Miller. So I appreciate you guys so much.
Awesome. No, we definitely appreciate that, and thank you so much, Chris. We do have a comment that just came on right now. Before we go on the comment, I do want to kind of touch base on what the impact that we did this weekend. So we have helped 113 households, 414 individuals, helped by distributing those hygiene kits, the cleaning supplies, all that good stuff. So that just warms my heart. I do have a comment from Chriselle. She's saying, we would like to contribute with this cause. We will get the DMA to donate. We will get with DMA to donate wipes, diapers, toothbrushes, and toothpaste.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I want to thank you for that, and reach out to us, direct message. So we will get into coordination on getting those items so we can get them over to you, Chris. So, Chris, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and being on the show, and not just that, but for reaching out to us so we can make a difference with you along the side of you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, you have an amazing day.
You too.
Thank you. So you guys heard it. That was Christopher representing Catholic Charities of Southeast Texas. And, you know, just having you guys watch, you guys can still make a difference. If you guys are from far away, it's okay. We can arrange for either you guys to ship it over to our office and we'll take it over. We can make arrangements. That is not even a problem. It's all for us to give back. So we love to give back to our community. I want you guys to remember that. Give back to the community. And with the holidays around the corner, what a better season and a better time frame to do it. A lot of people probably got survived and got a lot taken from underneath them from this tropical storm, and now with the holidays around the corner, we want to probably brighten up their smile and help them get through this and their journey to recovery and getting back to whole. So I want to thank all of you guys for being on the show today. Talk to Me Tuesday on a Tuesday. I want to thank you guys for liking the show, and most importantly for sharing the show. The more that you guys share it, the more we get to help and change lives that are out there and educate people. So share so that we can make a difference to those who are in need of any type of disaster relief. If you guys have any questions of any disaster relief, or if you need help, we will get you in touch with Chris or anyone we need to help you get through your journey to rebuild. I want to thank you for tuning in to Talk to Me Tuesday on a Tuesday. I'm your host, Mari B.